Panatipata viramaniya sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Athinatana viramaniya sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccacara viramaniya sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musawada viramaniya sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura mira yamaca pamadatana viramaniya sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Those are the 5 Buddhist precepts. And why do we call them precepts? Because it is something you try to do. You try to do. Doesn't mean that it will always work for everybody at every time, but it's the intent to do it that counts. What do they actually mean? Well, the first is to not hurt any living being, including yourself. So you try to do that as good as possible. To not take what is not given. That is a much broader aspect than just not to steal. Not take what is not given. So if you find a wallet on the streets, it's not given. You might have found it, but it's still not given, so it's not yours. To not encounter in sexuality in a way that will hurt either yourself or others. That is a very broad aspect again. It doesn't say no sexuality. It says so that I don't hurt myself nor others. That means that if you look at, for instance, the Me Too movement, it also covers that. If you hurt somebody, you hurt anybody with your sexuality in such a sense that the other one feels oppressed or in a difficult situation, then you should refrain from that. Then, no false speech or wrong speech. False speech and wrong speech, again, is very broad. It's very broad. It means not to slag somebody off. It means not to lie. It means not to tell untrue stories. And it also means not to diminish somebody's character by implying things. And that could help people to become way more relaxed and calm. And sometimes you do see things like that. Remain quiet and calm. Remain quiet and calm. It's the best way to deal with that. Now, what does these 5 precepts do for you? Because they do something for you as well. You become more clear, more open, more calm. And everybody around you becomes more clear and open and calm because of it. And therefore, by doing that, you become more receptive to the universal energy. And by becoming more receptive to the universal energy, you feel it flowing through you. And a very interesting side effect, if you would like to call it that, of the 5 precepts is that there's way more clarity in your meditation. There's way more clarity in your meditative practice. You will see things more clearly. And your third eye will see more clearly. And there is something called a nimitta. And this nimitta will become very bright, clear, and shining. And actually that is your purest inner self. Your purest inner self. So, yes, these 5 precepts are very important in that sense. Don't look upon them as if they are commandments, as if they are things you must do. No, you try to practice them and you try to do them as well as you can. And then by doing so, slowly you become more able and you become more practiced in the possibility of these 5 precepts. I would really advise everybody to strongly try to adhere to those simple 5 precepts. And ultimately, the last precept, which I purposely kept aside, the last precept, Sura Mira Yama Tapama Datana, is about alcohol, drugs. If we use those, then our consciousness slowly goes down, and because it goes down, we are not able to practice all the other precepts. And we all know that this happens. We've seen it before in our lives, when we were drunk or when we've taken a pill of some sort or even used marijuana. By doing those things, it lowers your defenses, it lowers your vision, it lowers your average kind of attitude towards the world. So that last one endangers all the other 4. So try to refrain as much as possible from alcohol and drugs. And everybody in the groups that I have always asks me, so a wine with my food is no longer allowed. No, that's not the problem. We all understand that. It's when you go on after that. And it's the second and it's the third. That's where it becomes so that your responsibilities lower. And by doing that, there is no longer the possibility to remain in control over your senses. So that last one actually endangers the previous 4. So try to adhere to the 5 precepts. Namaste. Did you like that video? I hope you did. Press like and maybe even subscribe and write something in the comments. You could even say something you want to hear about. See you next time.